Humanity had joined the Galactic Accord only 3 years earlier. We were new, curious, and dangerously ignorant. My role as a linguistics specialist was to help bridge cultural gaps before misunderstandings turned into wars. But no briefing had prepared me for Queen Althira. She was everything the reports warned about: strategic, ruthless, and impossibly composed. Entire civilizations had surrendered at the mere suggestion of her fleets mobilizing. Yet during our private dialogue session, she surprised me. She asked about Earth, about families, about partnership, about love. I explained, carefully, how humans often sought equals, companions who shared burdens, not just power. She listened intently, fingers resting on her throne as if each word mattered. When she asked what qualities humans valued most in a partner, I spoke honestly: kindness, intelligence, loyalty, strength without cruelty. She smiled, and I, foolishly, responded with admiration rather than restraint. That was when the room went quiet. The offer. Queen Althira rose from her throne. "You have named me," she said, her voice amplified through the chamber, without technology. In Varelian law, to call a reigning queen a perfect wife is not flattery. It is a claim. My heart pounded. "A claim?" I asked. She stepped closer. "An ancient one. It means you see me not only as ruler, but as bondmate, equal, anchor." The diplomatic advisors began whispering urgently. She raised one clawed hand, silencing them. Her gaze never left mine. "I will offer you a choice, human Marcus Hale," she said. "One that has not been offered in 5 millennia. The holographic star map ignited around us. "Accept the Queen's bond, and humanity will gain protection under my empire. No invasions, no subjugation. Earth will rise as a favored world. Your species will flourish." The stars shifted, showing Varelian fleets obliterating enemies. "Refuse," she continued calmly, "and you leave here alive, but unprotected. The galaxy is not kind to young civilizations." It wasn't a marriage proposal. It was a geopolitical ultimatum wrapped in something far more personal. Learning the Queen. I was given 3 days to decide. 3 days confined within the Obsidian Spire, the Queen's private domain. No guards inside, only watchers embedded in the walls themselves. During those days, Queen Althira visited me not as a ruler, but as herself. She showed me Varelian history, the wars that forced her species to abandon emotion for survival. She explained that Varelians did not marry for love. They bonded to stabilize their neural patterns, preventing madness brought on by prolonged command over quantum fleets. A bondmate grounded the Queen. Without one, rulers eventually lost empathy, and then restraint. "You think I am cruel," she said once, as we stood overlooking the endless city. "But cruelty is a choice. I choose calculation." I challenged her, asked if humans would become pawns. She surprised me again. "The bond is mutual," she replied. "You would have authority, the power to veto my actions against your species, against others if justified." No human had ever been offered such influence. Still, doubt gnawed at me. Was this truly partnership, or captivity gilded in cosmic promises? On the second night, alarms echoed through the spire. An assassination attempt. A rogue Varelian faction, traditionalists who believed the Queen had grown too soft, launched an internal strike. Security systems failed. Plasma fire scorched the halls. I had a chance to flee. Instead, I ran toward the Queen. I found her wounded, silver blood pooling at her side as she fought off attackers with terrifying precision. Without thinking, I dragged her behind a collapsed column and used my emergency medkit, designed for humans, not aliens. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. When the threat was neutralized, she looked at me differently, not as a political asset, but as something trusted. You could have escaped, she said quietly. I could have, I replied. But partners don't run. Something shifted in her eyes. The dangerous truth. On the final day, she revealed the truth she had withheld. The Queen's bond was irreversible. If I accepted, my biology would be altered, expanded lifespan, neural synchronization with hers. I would outlive everyone I'd ever known. Earth would change. Humanity would change. And if you die? I asked. She hesitated. Then I lose my anchor, she admitted. And the galaxy may not survive what I become. The offer was dangerous not because of power, but because of responsibility. I wasn't choosing a queen. I was choosing to hold the leash of an empire. Ending. The choice that changed the galaxy. The accord reconvened. Every species watched. Queen Elthyra stood before them, regal and unyielding. I stepped forward beside her. I accept, I said, not as a subject, but as an equal. Not because you are powerful, but because you are trying to be better, and you're willing to let someone stop you if you're not. The chamber erupted. The bond ritual was unlike anything human science had recorded: light, pain, memory, and connection intertwining. I felt her thoughts brush mine. Centuries of command, loneliness, sacrifice. And she felt mine: earth, fear, hope, stubborn human defiance. When it was over, the Queen spoke again, her voice softer than ever recorded. From this moment, the Verelian Empire will expand no further without consent. Power without balance ends today. The galaxy changed course. Years later, historians would argue whether humanity saved the Empire or doomed itself by stepping into power too soon. As for me, I stood beside an alien queen who could destroy stars with a command and chose not to because someone once called her a perfect wife and meant a perfect partner. And in a universe ruled by fear, that choice was the most dangerous weapon of all. As the alien sky burned with violet and gold, I stood before her, the most dangerous princess in the galaxy. Her eyes, sharp as blades, studied me, expecting fear, obedience, surrender. But I didn't flinch. I took a deep breath, and in that moment, something shifted. She blinked, just once, as if surprised that a human could defy the rules of her world. You could have left, she whispered, voice soft but deadly. No one has ever stood against me and lived. I'm not leaving, I said, my voice steady. Not from you, not from this. The tension hung like a storm cloud. Then, slowly, she smiled, not a cruel smile, but one that hinted at respect and something more dangerous: curiosity. With a graceful motion, she stepped back and lowered her weapon. Perhaps you are different, she murmured. Perhaps there is hope for humans yet. And just like that, the galaxy seemed to pause. In that silence, I realized that courage, loyalty, and humanity weren't weaknesses. They were power. As we turned toward the horizon together, neither friend nor enemy, it was clear. This was not the end of our story, but the beginning of something far greater. The alien queen, the dangerous princess, had met her match, and for the first time, maybe, so had the universe.